Hey, welcome back, everybody. So let's keep this fountain flowing, shall we? Today, I'm breaking down the 5 main parts of the body fountain, giving you a clue into some of the stuff you may be throwing into your own fountain and how you do it. When you understand the why, where, and how you carry stress, then you can choose if you need to carry it at all. Right? This is episode 16. I call it the Mind-Body Connection, Part 2. Welcome to the C-Word Podcast. I'm Semaj, and I greet you in the love and the light of the Infinite Creator. Don't let the name fool you. The C, as you will find, is all about you. What we desire to do here is create a conversation around my book, The C Word, and some of the principles behind it, to lead you, the seeker, on a journey. A journey of freedom. Freedom from limiting thoughts, borrowed beliefs, and false perceptions. A journey of self-truth. If you're already on a path, then it's to help bring clarity on the journey. I've walked the path. I can help you identify the walls you've built and the ruts that you're in, and give you some tools to create a new life. I'm a hands-on healer of energy and light, teacher of my own integrative flow technique. I'm a student of the Universal Law of One and a certified life coach, helping you to get clear your direction. I'm called Father, Husband, Grandfather, Sifu, and Guru. I'm on this journey with you. We are one. My desire is to live this quote, which simply says, "The best teachers are those who show you where to look, but don't tell you what to see." Let's begin. Okay, so I'm pretty sure everybody is ready to jump into this body fountain thing, right? If you can follow along with the map, that'd be great. Otherwise, use your imagination. So, I'll just start with the parts and what they carry according to my experience with my clients. See if anything may correspond to anything going on with you. The first part is simply called the upper right, which is the upper right side of the body and the upper right side of this fountain. This part of the fountain is controlled predominantly by the brain. Its parts include the right side of the head and the neck and the right shoulder area, the arm and the hand. It also includes the right side of the torso all the way down to the hips and glutes, your butt. This main source of influence is in what I call life functions. These functions usually don't require an emotional response, although they may make you respond emotionally. The stress factors for this side may include your job and the people around you in that environment, school, and fellow students and faculty. In general, it's the people and situations you come in contact with throughout your day. These factors and situations, in and of themselves, they have no bearing on how well this part of your body fountain works. The problems come when you choose to take any of these factors and deposit them into your fountain. What it turns into is what we like to refer to as stress. In fountain terms, stress is as intense as the Creator, you, makes it. Meaning if you say my stress at work is so high or it's so heavy, then it'll feel exactly as you define it. More likely than not, it'll also manifest where you tell it. For example, when you habitually say or think, Bob is a pain in the neck. Every time you see Bob, you think he's a pain in the neck, and as if magic, your neck tension increases. All day long, I hear clients tell me where they've decided to carry their stress. Semaj, I carry my stress in my... You go ahead and fill in the blank. I can guess 9 out of 10 times where you have most pain. Wherever you tell yourself it exists, it will. Moving on. The next part of the fountain is the upper left. This part of the fountain is controlled predominantly by the heart. Its parts include the left side of the head and neck, the left shoulder area, the left arm and hand, and left side of the torso all the way down to the left hip and your butt. Its main source of influence is what I call love functions. Love functions are any function or situation that may require an emotional response. There is, however, a very important difference from the right side. While the right side starts as a function of social skills that we've learned over time, our left side involves instinctive processes, things that we're born with. Our heart connection and emotions will control this side of the fountain so independently of our mental reasoning that it would amaze you. Most of the influences on this side revolve around people and things that we care about. On this side, not all manifestations are of a negative aspect. Some come from the constant thought or talking about something or the desire to carry a scenario with you. That means your desire to keep it alive. This side often carries old experiences from earlier years in your life. Many times, the issues held here are subconsciously hidden. Sometimes they are things we've created from misunderstandings or judgments or prejudgments of other people. People with low self-esteem tend to have chronic left side pain. Manifesting left side pain for a long period of time can cause it to spread throughout the entire left side, and it can take years to repair it or clean it out. If left unattended, it can spread throughout the whole body fountain. This is the case for 95% of my fibromyalgia cases. I've had incredible success over the past 40-something years in helping clients free themselves from what someone else has diagnosed as fibromyalgia. I can usually determine how long a person has been holding on to a particular stressor by how deeply it's lodged in the tissue. For a lot of people, manipulation or massage of this side can cause an emotional response. And over the years, I've seen everything from laughing and crying to loss of certain bodily functions. The body is wonderfully designed to protect itself. It does, and it will do that, sometimes without you even knowing it. The previously mentioned releases often happen as a result of the body letting go or the fountain releasing the source of a person's stress. So we'll move to the next parts, and I'll call it 2 parts because they're the same. It's the lower left and the lower right side of the body. In the functioning of this body fountain, energy flows up. The stress that you're holding, or the stress that you decide to carry, presses down. Issues or stressors that are carried for an extended period of time will eventually make their way down to the sump filter, which is a different part, by compression, but we'll talk about that part in a minute. If not attended to in the sump filter, they'll make their way into the legs. Now, a common symptom of this compression is called hard leg, when a person's legs are rock solid for no apparent reason. They ain't working out, their legs are just hard. These people regularly are busy with being busy, both in their own lives and the lives of those around them. And they can do this for years. You know them because their legs always hurt and they're always in somebody's business. The backs of these people are usually just as hard as their legs. It's what happens when a person chooses to carry stress. When the upper parts of the fountain get full, everything starts to press downward. This usually shows up as high levels of lymph in the fatty tissue of the legs, hips, and joints. Metaphysically speaking, leg pains may be an indication of a situation not being settled or a person's foundational belief system being shaken. The next part is not a main part, but it carries a significant role in the lower part of the fountain, and it's called the love zone. Now, this part holds good and bad memories of relational intimacy. It runs from the groin to the knee on the inner side of the thigh, abductors, adductor area, for those of you who know muscles. Now, excessive tenderness in this area needs to be carefully assessed with the client. For what I do, they may or may not be aware of any issues or traumas in their life, but just like in my own story, it was there and it was just waiting to be discovered. Now, in my case, I had buried the painful memories, but the body had been holding it all along. During my first flow massage, when my teacher, Sifu, was working on my legs and he hit that spot, it all broke loose. I was literally just laying on the table sobbing. At the time, I didn't know what was happening or why I was crying. All I know that even the gentlest touch hurt horribly. And all my teacher could say was that you hurt bad, very bad. And it would be 5 years later before I discovered specifically what had happened. Most people never really notice pains in this area because under normal circumstances, they're not touched there except for massage or in an intimate situation. The final part of the body fountain is the sump filter, and yes, the buttocks. This is designed to be in the energy flow system, a flow-through portion of the fountain. As the energy that cycles through us moves upward, it's supposed to be a filter, and it filters out most of the outside influence, keeping them from contaminating or plugging up our system. The main muscles included in this part of the fountain include the lower back, the hips, and the glute muscles. The hips and glutes function more as the collection tank of this system. The sump filter functions just like any other part of the fountain from a metaphysical perspective. The things you say, think, and accept are integrated into your system, and as a result are connected to your lymphatic system. This allows your words and thoughts to attach themselves to joints, tissues, and fatty deposits in your body. The fact that there's so much fat located in this general area can explain why so many people have chronic pain in the low back, hips, and glutes. Now, the more you fill up your sump and the more clogged it gets, and you fill it up with negative thoughts and words, the less effectively your fountain is going to work. And some of the common word phrases that continuously fill up your sump, you may start by stuffing your emotions and say things like, "Oh, I'll sit on that for a while," or "I'll just put that behind me." "So-and-so is a pain in the ass." And what we say a lot of times is a lot of junk in the trunk. Along with your pains in the neck, monkeys on your back, and the weight of the world on your shoulders, you manifest what and where you hurt. When it comes to an overload sump filter, think of a clogged garbage disposal. Everything is in there, waiting to go down. Running water into it only fills the sink higher. So you flip the switch, and you may or may not get any motion in the garbage disposal, right? Sometimes what's in the bottom, inside the disposal, churns around and rises up into the sink. You may move it just enough to get some water out, but the source of the backup is still there. The sump filter needs to be cleaned out to allow the rest of the system to work properly. Think back to the last time you felt good. Flowing with energy, when people could look at you and know how good you felt. If you don't feel like that now, it's okay. Be human. But just check your fountain frequently. Feel what you're thinking, saying, or doing, because it can kill your flow. There's one more physical anomaly on this fountain. Did I say anomaly? One more physical anomaly on this fountain that gets honorable mention in my book. This part is the crossover bump. Now, this manifestation has a couple different medical terms that are associated with it. One is called kyphoscoliosis. In most of the cases I see, it's not very extreme. A hump on the back of the neck, is also characteristic of Cushing syndrome. Now, Cushing syndrome is a disorder that occurs when your body makes too much of the hormone cortisol over a long period of time. Cortisol is sometimes called the stress hormone because it helps your body respond to stress, along with other muscles and bone changes such as thinning bones and weak muscles. Cushing's syndrome causes fat to gather behind the neck. In this body fountain system, the left and or the right side stressors are supposed to be separated. Life side separated from heart side. But the body sometimes allows the right side stressors with no heart connection to migrate to the left side with the heart connection. Now, the two sides are supposed to be separated in this process and thought. Work should be work, and home should be home. just as in real life, you should never bring work or home to work. The crossover happens when people have situations or issues that should stay on one side of the body or the other. But because they haven't learned to separate the two sides, the issues may be pulled over to the other side. This is common among people who have jobs, vocations that require them to have a certain level of emotional understanding or empathy when dealing with people. This may include, but is not exclusive to, teachers, nurses, family caregivers, clergy, psychologists, and physical therapists. Also in this group are parents, especially parents with adult children living at home, family matriarchs, and general busybodies. People that just have to be up in everybody's business. Now, it normally takes years for the bump to appear, so it's usually older people, usually women over the age of 35 or 40. This is just in my experience. You take a look at the upper backs of seasoned nurses working like in the pediatric wing or on the cancer ward of a hospital, for instance. They are no doubt doing what they love, caring for others, and it's not an easy job, especially in these current times. But these caregivers get to know their patients and these other people personally, and it's very easy to begin to carry the concerns and worries for the patients and bring it home with them daily. Now they become stress takers. Okay? And with that, let me give a PSA here. There are people out there that are very in tune to other people's fountain energy flow. They can feel that you're one of those people that if they pour out their mess, you're going to pick it up because they feel your fountain, and your fountain says, come pour all your crap into me. I'm not good enough to handle my own crap, but I'll take on yours. And you hear stuff like, but Maury, I love them. Yada, yada, yada. Or Oprah, he's my man and I just can't leave him. Okay, I'm going to tell y'all, that's bullshit. Trust me, you are a target, and in a very real and cosmic way. You attract these energy drainers. Disconnect from that as fast as you can. It'll kill you. So we've talked about the parts, and we talked about the stuff that gets in them. Alrighty then. I know that there's a lot here to shift and try to fall into. All these parts and all these thoughts. If you're a minimalist and you want the direct answer, I'll give you that. Here it goes. If you put crap in your fountain, you get crap out your fountain, and vice versa. Whether it's by thought, self-talk, or allowing others to do it. This rule applies to every aspect of your mind, body, and spirit, period. But most people need some time to steep into all of this. So yeah, I'm just letting you know there's going to be a part 3. But I'm going to allow some time for you to go back and review. Listen to part 1 of this podcast and then part 2 again, and try to take it in. Listen to both episodes and really get an understanding of how this body fountain works. Send me questions. Send me your experiences or what you're thinking. Let me know. I'm taking the next week off. And then we'll start with a conversation on how not to contaminate your fountain or that of others. You'll be surprised where this journey takes you. I love you all, and I wish you all the best, cleanest fountains in the world. Until next time, as always, this is Semaj. I leave you in the love and the light of the infinite Creator. Go forth, therefore, and rejoice, and be kind to each other, and more importantly, be kind to yourself in the power and the peace of the infinite Creator. Namaste. Well, that wraps it up for today's episode. I appreciate you all for listening to this podcast. It matters to me. If you'd like to go deeper on any topic, I urge you to use the links in the description of this podcast. There, you can find links to my book, The C Word. You can also find these episodes on my YouTube channel under Semaj Rramal, Man at the Top of the Mountain. Also, we would love to connect with you on a Great New You website. That's www.8newyou.com. A Great New You. There, we offer courses to help you become a great new you, and a blog to keep you connected and informed. Finally, if you feel a personal need to get help moving ahead, I've left 2 more links here for connection calls. I'll have 30-minute connections and 1-hour personal coaching connections available via phone or Zoom. All that to let you know that you don't have to seek out the answers or move forward alone. If you're getting value from this show or have feedback, feel free to reach out to me personally at semaj@agreatnewyou.com or leave us a rating here. Thanks for listening. Namaste.